Okay, hello. It is January 2nd. I just got done with the gym. I told myself I was going to do these before I went to the gym, but I don't think it really matters because I think about a lot of things all the time. So, anyway, I just got done with the gym. New year means a lot of new people working out at the gym, which I'm trying not to be pessimistic about and annoyed about. I'm so sorry. My camera, I fought with it for like 10 minutes before I fucking started this. I'm trying not to be too judgmental or too irritated about new people coming to the gym because it's, I think it's a really good thing for people to sort of go out of their comfort zone and start working out. Like, it's hard and it's scary. And if I hadn't had my partner who is really knowledgeable about lifting to help me go to the gym and get started and to give me like a baseline for, things that I could get started on working out, I don't know that I ever would have been able to go to the gym by myself. That is so scary. And it's so intimidating. And there's so many machines and they look really scary and hard to use. So I'm trying not to be too about the fact that there's a bunch of new people that don't know what they're doing. It is especially hard when you're watching people do workouts so wrong. And even harder when they're doing them so wrong that they're going to hurt themselves very seriously if they don't stop. But I'm also not the type of person to stop someone and be like, hey, you're doing that so wrong. Because, who am I to do that to somebody? I don't know shit. I know baseline knowledge about workouts in the gym. Anyway, I'm trying not to be too pessimistic about it. I went in today expecting just the absolute worst. And it actually wasn't that bad. It was actually not that bad. It was busy, don't get me wrong, but I go to a really small gym and it's always pretty busy. Like, even on days when it's just like average busyness or like what might be average busyness for another gym, mine is really, really small. So it gets packed really quickly. But I don't know, I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about like judgment and passing judgment on people, and not in a preachy way. I am a huge hater. I have been a huge hater my entire life. I've had more than one person throughout my life tell me I was addicted to drama, or say that behind my back. I like to think that I am not addicted to drama anymore. I surround myself with a lot of people who there isn't really any drama, and I'm happy with that, because I am learning to be happy with a regulated lifestyle and regulated relationships instead of dysregulated ones. So I would like to think that I'm not addicted to drama anymore, but that was definitely a version of me, and I am definitely still a person who loves to gossip. I love a little bit of tea. I love to spread the tea everywhere. I remember once one of my coworkers got fired and I watched it happen, and I ran around the entire store telling everybody about what had happened, just because I wanted to see the reaction on everybody's faces, because I'm a little bit of a gossip. But I've been trying lately as in like the past year, to not be as judgmental of people and to give people more grace, I guess. Because this is so fucking cliche, but you actually never know what somebody is going through. Like, that is so fucking real. The hardest times of my entire life have been, like, I have gone through them without most people knowing how bad I'm struggling. And I wouldn't want somebody passing judgment on me during those times when I am struggling so hard and just trying to, like, get through my day-to-day. And you just never know if somebody is going through that. You never know if somebody's going through the worst shit they've ever experienced in their life. So I am trying not to be so judgmental, and I have been working on that over the past year. By the way, I'm so sorry. I know that you can hear all of the noise of the freeway right now. My car is not very well insulated, so I apologize. But yeah, I think around the new year as a person who has been going to the gym for it's been about 7 months, 6 months. Going to the gym around the new year is an exercise in trying to be judgment free, and it is difficult, but I'm really trying. I think I am sort of, to try and be nice to myself, but I know that this is true, the type of person who gets a superiority complex pretty quickly, because I like to be knowledgeable about things. I like to learn about things, and I like to be the person in the room who knows the most about things. I think I get that from my dad. I just like to know things and to teach people things. But it can really quickly go from, oh, I love to teach people things, or I love to spread knowledge or whatever, have a bunch of knowledge, into, oh, I'm better than you because you don't know about this. And, having a superiority complex because, any number of things, because I know more about coffee than you do, because I know more about working out than you do, because I'm this, because I'm that. Like, I very, very quickly start to feel like I'm better than other people, and that is a horrible, horrible trait to have. That's a really bad trait, and I think that a lot of people suffer from it but don't talk about it because people have a hard time acknowledging it about themselves. But I am acknowledging it. I am a person that develops a superiority complex pretty quickly, and that has definitely happened to me with going to the gym. I have definitely become a little conceited. This guy in front of me, are you drunk? Get in your lane, sir. I think it's really easy with exercise to become that guy who is like, oh, you don't even know what you're talking about, and look at all my gains, and look at how hard I've worked, and you can see my progress, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm trying to walk the line between, I still love myself, and I love, something that I do love about myself is that I like to gather knowledge, and I like to be knowledgeable about things. But I would like to walk the line between that, as well as self-love, versus, just mansplaining everything to people and feeling like I'm better than other people. And that's like, maybe that's an embarrassing thing to admit, or maybe I should be embarrassed about it, but we all have flaws, and that's just one of mine, and I'm trying to fix it. So what else can you do? Oh my goodness, chaos in the streets. But yeah, I think going to the gym around this time of year is a pretty good exercise in that, and in acknowledging, the whole thing of, we all start somewhere, and oh my god, dude, everyone is driving like crazy. We all start somewhere, and I started somewhere, and I'm still pretty early in my fitness journey, if you will. I don't know everything that I need to know, and my macros aren't perfect, and I learn new exercises all the time and try new machines all the time, and I probably look like an idiot doing it. And I'm not better than anyone else, and I'm not better than these other people that are going to the gym, even if I do know more about the lifts than they do. And I do wish that there was a way for me to tell people, like, hey, if you try to do a shoulder press by starting with the weight at your hips and throwing it all the way up above your head and then repeating that, you're gonna fucking absolutely destroy your shoulder joints. If there was a way for me to tell people that without seeming condescending or without, not minding my business, I would do that. But there's not, so I just try to mind my business and focus on my own lifts, and that's it. And I think that, another benefit of this time of year is that I can try new lifts, and I can try new machines, and look like an idiot doing it, and everybody will just think that I'm new, and that I just started there. And then nobody knows that I'm actually something of a gym rat, and that I just don't know everything. I tried a few new lifts today. Sorry if you don't like gym talk, but that's probably what this one's gonna be. I tried a few new lifts today, and that was pretty scary, but I did do it. I watch a lot of fitness content So they're not lifts that were like brand new to me. But they were ones that I had never actually tried. I had only seen other people do. And it was the incline press. I did assisted dips, face pulls. Face pulls are an easy one. I just watched a couple of videos and pretty quickly caught on to it. And that's the benefit of learning about weights and lifting, is that once you learn about the different muscle groups and whatnot, you can pretty much figure out how to do any lift. Face pulls are they can be for your rear delts or your side delts. I'm sure you can find a way to do them for like the front delts or whatever, but I was doing them for my rear delts, and knowing that, I can figure out the form pretty easily. So anyway, tried some new lifts, and like I said, I wouldn't want anybody passing judgment onto me for not knowing how to do something on the first try. And so I'm trying not to pass judgment onto anybody else. And the thing is too, when you're constantly judging people and you're watching other people and passing judgment on them all the time, you are naturally going to feel like everyone is judging you. And then you're going to be more embarrassed, and you're not going to want to try new things, because you assume that everybody's judging you because you're always judging everybody all the time. And, you're going to end up, I don't know. And one of the most limiting emotions that a person can feel is shame and embarrassment. It is so limiting, and it'll make you put up invisible barriers for yourself. And it'll make it so that you don't try new things, and so that you don't go out of your comfort zone. You don't go for the things that you want. It's literally like one of the most just asinine bullshit emotions. And only humans feel it. Other animals don't feel it. So, by trying to learn not to pass judgment on people, you will also stop passing judgment on yourself and stop assuming that other people are passing judgment on you, and stop worrying about I talked about this in my last vlog. You stop worrying about something that somebody might be thinking about you. So that's been a really big goal of mine for kind of a while now, to not be as much of a shit talker and as judgmental of people. It's not easy. I won't lie to you. Haven't been progressing at the rate that I would like to be progressing, but it's a new year. Anything could happen. And I don't necessarily believe in or not believe in New Year's resolutions. I think if the new year comes around and it makes you feel empowered to make changes in your life, great. Even if those changes don't stick, if you tried, that's great. That's a step towards succeeding. But I also understand why people don't like them very much. It puts a lot of pressure on the new year, and it makes it so that when the year ends, you might look back and feel really disappointed in yourself. So I understand both sides. For me personally, I think I have less of New Year's resolutions and more of just like things that I would like to be able to look back on and see throughout my year. So not necessarily like specific goals, like, work out more or read more books, but like just like to experience more things and to live in the moment more, and to allow myself to accept more love and to give out love more freely. And I want to look back at my year and like see that I just did more of everything positive, less of everything negative. And that's what I want to see. I do want to like read more often, and I do want to do things like go to museums, and I want to travel, and like there's all sorts of things that I am planning for 2024, but I'm not going to hold myself to this intense pressure of like I have to fill my year with all this shit, because in 2023, I didn't have all of these, I didn't go rock climbing and fucking jump off a waterfall or whatever, but I did foster a lot of friendships, and I met my partner, and we're going on a year now. I learned to love myself more. I learned to accept my flaws more. I did a lot of things that are hard for a lot of people my age, and took care of a lot of stuff that people my age don't typically have to take care of for themselves. And I count that as a pretty big, I don't know about success, but like I count it as, it's a pretty big deal that I am able to take care of myself so thoroughly and to not rely on anybody else to take care of me or to walk me through how to do things. You know, I've been learning things the hard way my entire life due to necessity or due to stubbornness or due to both. But these past couple of years, I have really been learning things the hard way. And I think that I'm finally starting to sort of figure things out. And that's not something you can measure. Like, I can't look back on 2023 and, you know, check off a list of things that I did. But I can look back at myself in January of 2023, January 2nd, 2023, versus today, January 2nd, 2024. And I can see the difference. And a lot of people have seen the difference. And I think that is really important going into a new year, is to just want to look back and see changes and improvements and have that be your goal. Passing judgment on people is something I would really like to work on not doing anymore. As well as just being more open-minded in general. And I would encourage you to also be more open-minded in general. If you are a person that just started going to the gym because it is 2024 and because it's a new year, welcome. That's really exciting for you. I'm excited for you. If you only go for 2 weeks, that's okay. If maybe you'll go for the next year, you know, maybe you'll be unrecognizable physically by next year. But whatever you're doing, lifting is so much fun. Working out is so much fun. It has brought me so much fulfillment and so much joy. And it has really brought a structure to my life that I very desperately needed. And when I first started, you know, right away I tried to make a program for myself, and I tried to structure everything, and like I was really beating myself up for not being able to, there's that noise that my car makes again. I was really hard on myself for not being able to get everything right and not being able to do everything the way that I wanted to, and, you know, struggling with learning certain lifts quickly. But my advice to somebody who's just starting out at the gym, as somebody who's, I mean, I've been going for less than a year, but my advice would be to just learn as much shit as you can, and to just focus on learning form for a bunch of different machines, and try not to lift too heavy until you know the form. And once you start learning form for different machines, the other machines will come naturally, and you'll start to learn about the muscle groups naturally. And then you can put together a program. I just finally put together a program that makes a lot of sense for me, and that I know all of the lifts pretty well, and where I'm hitting all of the muscle groups that I want to focus on. And that took me 7 months before I was able to really fully do that. So that's my advice to you, is to just get your body moving, do some shit that feels good, and worry about getting everything perfect later. Because if you worry about getting everything perfect now, it's more likely that you're going to quit. Because it's really easy to fail when you are trying to do everything perfectly. It's way better to just get out of bed and go to the gym and be in the gym for 30 minutes bullshitting around than it is to tell yourself that you have to go in there and you have to work all the muscle groups and you have to do every single thing with form that your favorite influencer on Instagram is telling you to do. And like, oh, if you want to build your chest, you have to do this exercise. If you want to build your back, you have to do this exercise. Like, no, you don't. There's no one exercise. There's no one perfect way to, you know, like no perfect form for any exercise. Like, obviously there's things you shouldn't do. But if you see 6 or 7 different variations of like a lat raise or a fucking squat, you know, just pick the one that you like and just do it. And just learn the form on that. And then once you learn the form on that, then you can try the 6 different types. And you'll have an easier time getting to know the form because you already know the form for the first one. So just get in there and do something that makes you feel good. And if you're not going to the gym this year, that's okay. It's not for everybody. However, if you have depression, if you struggle with depression, which I do really, really bad, and I have literally my entire life, I would really encourage you to set aside your self-doubts and set aside your biases against working out and just try to get a little bit of exercise every day. Because people told me that for years. Look at me. Look at me. Do I look like a person who works out? No. No. And that's because I wasn't. And people told me for years that if I did a little bit of exercise, that it would help me with my depression. And I went, fuck you. My depression is medical. It's not going to go away because I go on a mile hike or whatever. And that's true. It doesn't go away. It's not going to go away. And I do still struggle with it all the time. But I will tell you right now that since I have started working out, my depression has gotten so much better. And my self-hatred has gotten so much easier to squelch and to ignore. Or like, not to ignore, but, you know, to invalidate, if you will. So I would really, really encourage you to find some form of exercise that you can manage and that you can tolerate, and to incorporate that into your day if you can, because seriously, it has helped me so much. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not super shredded and like all of my muscles aren't super defined, but I don't go to the gym because I want to be beautiful and I want to be skinny or I want to be jacked or I want to be whatever. I'm not fucking taking trends so that I can get Sam Solik sized or Arnold sized. I go to the gym because moving my body gives me endorphins and makes me happy. And being able to do something with myself physically where I can feel the results and I can see the results and I can work toward something, that has given me a lot of fulfillment. And I would recommend it. And if you're watching this and you're one of the people that was like, Parker, you just need to get up out of bed and you need to fucking work out, fuck you, man. Because I'm still mentally ill. Like, don't get me wrong. I still struggle with my symptoms. You're still going to struggle with your symptoms. All I'm saying is I really needed structure. That is something that I have really needed in my life. And managing my symptoms has become so much easier since I gave myself the opportunity to have that structure. I might talk in another video another time about my relationship with exercise and why I didn't work out and I refused to work out for so long, because maybe somebody else might relate to that, but that's a whole other half hour, so I won't get into that right now. But yeah, I think that using the new year as an opportunity to do something new for yourself, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that if there's something you've been wanting to try and you're the type of person that you're like always making excuses to not, or like you feel like there's never a right time to start, that's how I am. I feel like there's never a right time to start. Like, it doesn't make sense in my brain to just start something new on a random Tuesday. I feel like I have to have some sort of marker. Oh, my light turned off. That's okay. But there doesn't have to be some sort of marker. You can just start. So, you know, if you want to use the new year as an excuse to start something new, do it. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. I would love to hear them. I'm very interested in what goals people have for themselves for the new year. Mine would just be to love as many people as I can and to accept as many people's love as I can. To try new things and to try to worry less about whether or not I'll succeed at them and to just try them. To write more, to read more, to make more art, to just do more of the things that I love. And those are my goals. All I want to do is look back at 2024 and think, I did so many of the things that I love. And that's all that I want. So if you've gotten this far in the video, please comment what your New Year's resolutions are. I would really love to hear them. Yeah, it's a nice clear evening here in Salt Lake City. I got a great pump at the gym today. I'm really excited to keep working on my new program. I'm going to go into Smith's right now and I have to pee so bad, so I hope I can get into the restroom. And I'm going to make some pasta with vegetables for dinner. So that's that on that. I I think I'll end this here. My username on everything is Queer Edge, with various punctuation. But if you just look up Queer Edge on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, I'm there. Instagram is what I use mostly. So feel free to go check it out. Yeah, I will see you whenever I film another one of these. Could be tomorrow, could be in a week. I hope you have a great rest of your day after watching this, and Happy New Year.